Hello, beautiful souls. This is Shamama Hunting Owl. I am here with one new message that I had promised to deliver to you guys about Incubus and Succubus, twin flames, false twins, who are cloaking themselves as the divine feminine and the divine masculine, attempting to interfere with twin flame unions. So this is what we're going to talk about today, you guys. I always want to start by thanking you all for being here, liking, sharing, and subscribing to the channel. I also want to remind you guys to please make sure you subscribe and check the community tab, because I am posting a lot of extra content under the community tab, as well as consider joining the membership section where you will receive lots of extra bonus material. Okay, you guys? All the information about that stuff is in the box below this video. All right, guys, so I want to talk to you about succubus and incubus energies and their role in the twin flame journey, and what I am seeing with my clients as well as in my own experiences, okay? And I don't like to use the term false twin, as you guys know. That's not something that I've resonated with. However, yes, there are people who are believed to be twins that are not. Are they false? I don't consider them false. However, I consider them to be mistaken identity. And the reason that is for many that there is a mistaken identity is because these incubus or succubus people are oh my God, guys, sorry, I just completely lost my train of thought. Are coming in to interfere with unions, okay? And their energy is cloaked as the real divine feminine or masculine counterpart. So I've used this example before, and this is the best example I can come up with, which is the vision I see when I see this cloaking energy, okay? There was a movie a very long time ago called Total Recall with Arnold Schwarzenegger. And in that movie, at one point, he had to put on a holographic costume. And in the holographic costume, he was disguised as a woman getting on a transporter or something, like to outer space. And the key to maintaining the holographic cloak was maintaining calm, keeping your vibration balanced with the costume, the holograph he was wearing. And long story short, shit started to go down, and he started to lose his vibration. And when he started to lose the balance of his vibration in the movie, the hologram costume that he was wearing, the disguise, the cloak he was wearing, began to digitalize and break down, showing his true identity. Okay, and eventually to the point where the disguise just vanished, poof, it was gone, and he was himself. And so I use this very long-winded example as the vision of what I see with these people, okay? And these succubuses, succubus is a female demon energy, and an incubus is a masculine, a male demon energy. And they prey, they feed off of the sexual energy of the feminine and the masculine, and they don't care whether they feed off heterosexually, homosexually. It doesn't matter. This is what they do. Now, how does all of this play into us and what is going on? So I started to share that I had a client who recently died, and he was a twin flame, okay? And he came to me a few months ago, and he was guided. He lives here locally in South Florida. He was guided and reached out to me and wanted to come for a healing session with me, which was great. And I was super excited. And then the day of his session, he messaged me and he says, hey, do you have time for one more person to add in? My quote unquote twin flame, and that's the word he used, his divine counterpart, he wanted to treat to a session that day. And I said, sure, I was totally willing to accommodate, and we did that. And so from that was they arrived, and we started and did introductions, and I did a little brief consultation with them both. And the female decided that she wanted to go first. And I was so thrilled, and it was so lovely. And they were very much in love. Like, there was this beautiful love spell upon them. And I began working on her, and we got about 15 minutes into her session, and she literally repelled off the table and sat straight up and freaked out and would not allow me to work on her or touch her anymore. Now, I have to tell you, now people have freaked out on my table before. The energy work is incredibly powerful. And the things that come up are incredibly just, deep. And this woman practically could not get off my table quick enough, like as if her fucking vagina was on fire, like could not get off the table fast enough. And I was very concerned, and she was feeling very sick, and so on and so forth. And we talked a little bit, and she was, after that, like, I was trying to calm her down and process what she was experiencing, and she was having none of it. All she kept saying was that she needed to leave. She just needed to leave. And so her partner who had left, my client who had left her here, had come back to get her and asked me what had happened. And I explained I really didn't know what had happened. She did say that she wasn't feeling well because she had clients that day. Now, mind you, I want to go back and just say that she does represent herself as a twin flame. She also represents herself as a twin flame healer. And she had said that she had clients earlier, and she hadn't cleared her energy before she came, and she was just not feeling well. And I can tell you immediately, I knew none of this was true. I knew the reason she was repelled off my table. I knew what was happening, and that was because her energy, her vibration was toxic, it was dark, and it could not sustain being in a vibration of such love and such ascension, and could not and would not be able to receive that, and therefore it was repelled. Okay, she repelled. And so I explained this to the client, that she had a very bad reaction, and that I suggested it best that she just go home, and that he not have his session, and so on. And he was very disappointed, but he understood, and they left. And honestly and truthfully, that evening I heard from him. I did check on them, and I did reach out to see how she was doing. And he was very angry with me that this whole thing had transpired the way it did. And I apologized, and I said, I really don't know what I can tell you, but this is all I know, and this is what she said, and this is what I felt, and I'm sorry things went down this way. And I honestly never expected to hear from this man again. And I heard from him again about a week and a half later. He actually he has a beautiful, lovely little girl, and she is autistic. And he had purchased the Pixie Princess book for her. And he had reached out to me to let me know it was his daughter's favorite book, and that he was very sorry for all of the things that had happened with his divine counterpart, and that he would like very much to have another session with me on his own. He had a lot of things coming up, and a lot of things in their relationship that he was starting to see that were just very uncomfortable. And I, again, welcomed him very much lovingly back, and said, of course, that I would have no problem doing that. And we did a session about a week later after that. And a lot of stuff came up. We went very deep into his traumas, his traumas. And he has a history of violence, of sexual abuse, of a lot of very, very traumatic things that have happened. He suffers from severe PTSD. And we worked on a lot of that in his healing session. That evening, he then called me. He was processing. We processed some more stuff that was coming up, and he spoke of this woman. And he started asking me questions about things. Now, this man, I also want to say that this man had been very spiritual prior to meeting this woman. He had been awakened. He had been looking into doing healing and utilizing plant medicines and meditations and all sorts of higher level divine tools, modalities, okay? He was no fucking fool. And I can tell you that evening, as I was speaking to him on the phone and he was processing with me, he was sharing and asking me a lot of questions about things that had gone on in their relationship, conversations and discussions that this counterpart that he thought was divine had told him that these spiritual truths that he had believed in and truly believed in and trusted were all bad. And over the course of their relationship, that she had been gaslighting him on all of the things that he had trusted in himself. She had also been doing what he referred to as activations on him weekly that she insisted on doing. She also, now for those of you who are familiar with sacred sexuality and semen retention, male sexuality and orgasm and semen retention, our orgasm is all about our chi, our life force energy. And it is highly recommended for men to not engage in semen spilling, okay? Semen spilling is orgasming to coming, okay, to ejaculation often, frequently meaning like every day, most, multiple times a day, things like that. Sacred sexuality and conserving our sexual life force energy is all about, for men, their semen retention, and for women, it is also about their orgasmic retention and utilizing their sexual energy and their ejaculate juices, fluids, in a way that is for manifestation. Well, he knew that, and this man actually used to practice semen retention and tantra and all of these higher level sexual practices prior, again, to meeting this woman and receiving these activations from this woman. This woman spent a significant amount of time with him and his daughter. His daughter is incredibly gifted and blessed by the angels. Those of you who know anything about autism know that these children are trapped without words a lot of time for the things they are experiencing because they are such higher level beings. And they are trying to function on this field. And it is a lot for them to take in all of the stimulation and the information that happens on the 3D. So they tend to seem slower or shut down, but they're actually much more connected to source and spirit and energies than we are. And so his beautiful, gorgeous little girl, who is, literally an angel, a true angelic being, he had, as a family interacted with this woman, and his little girl was also having ramifications related to this relationship with this woman. And so he started sharing, as I said, all of these things that night after our healing session. And he was in a very, very, very dark place after this. He was questioning everything that he had done and all these regrets that had come up. And he was angry at falling duped to this dark energy. And so I want to share that one of the important things that he shared with me was that this woman that he identified again as his twin flame was sexually soliciting him, seducing him multiple times a day to ejaculate, forcing him. And I know that sounds crazy. How can you force a guy to ejaculate? But she was seducing him. She was feeding off and into all of his lower vibration, sexual addictions, desires, all of these things, okay? This, my friends, is what a succubus does. This, my dear, beautiful souls, is what an incubus does. Their entire purpose of survival is dependent upon feeding and preying off of our lower vibration, unhealed sexual traumas, desires, addictions, fetishes, whatever it is. This is what they feed off of. Sometimes they can come to you in an actual human body and be in front of you and solicit you and seduce you into giving your energy, your life force over to them. And little by little, it slowly kills you. And I know this sounds batshit fucking crazy, but those of you who know what I'm talking about know what I'm talking about. This is real. This is not something to fear. This is not, again, we're not feeding into this energy. This is just a conversation about it exists and this is what it is and it's out there. And these energies are taking prey on vulnerable divine feminine and divine masculine souls who are stuck in a place of uncertainty. Many of these souls have come in as false twins, again, false twins, okay, into our divine masculine's lives. Now, I share this because this man, at the end of our conversation, decided that he was leaving this counterpart because he made his own decisions based on our conversation and saw through the facade. And as we were talking the entire time, he kept getting angel shivers and chills, and everything we were saying was resonating with his soul. He knew on a soul level what had happened. As soon as that conversation finished, this woman started blowing up his phone. Energetically, she felt this disconnect happening. She started blowing up his phone, desperately telling him that he needed to see her the next day and do this activation again with her. It happened to be, I believe, that the next day was something important. It may have been a full moon or a new moon. I can't exactly remember the dates, you guys, but this just happened recently. It may have even been as recent as the Lion's Gate. And she was insisting that she had to see him, that it was a matter of life and death, that he had to have his activation, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, whose life and death? And so. And long story short, he parted ways with her. Told me he was going away for the weekend, needing to clear his head and get back into himself. After that weekend, I found out that following Monday morning, he had passed away. His cause of death has not been discussed. There has been literally nothing available as to why he has died or what has happened to him. My point of all of this is, okay, these energies are toxic. These energies are very, very dangerous. These toxic, karmic, succubus partners, okay? And these are just words to explain, to describe. These are not judgments, okay? Understand that these are their sole purpose of what they are here for, are to destroy divine unions, okay? They are to ruin the chances of feminine and masculine twins coming together. They have gone so far as to extort money, as to try to blackmail, as to try to hurt them in ways. And I say this not just for the masculine. There are female twins, divine feminine twins who have fallen for these energies, okay? What I am saying, you guys, is this is something to be aware of, both masculine and feminine alike, that these energies are around you. They are cloaked to look like your true divine counterpart. They wear a costume disguised to be your twin. That's why it feels so close. That's why the signs and the synchronicities are so similar. That's why sometimes the counterpart gets duped or fooled into believing that this is their twin, because the black magic, that the dark magic that these entities hold and possess is so strong over an awakening, a newly awakening, vulnerable soul, that they are easily succumbed to being tricked, fooled, okay, by these energies. So I want you guys to understand this. If you are in a relationship that still seems divine but toxic at the same time, that something just doesn't seem right, please, you guys, you have to do this work and look into yourselves and what is happening in your situation. Do not be fooled by these false energies, by these trickster praying energies. So with that, you guys, I hope you all receive this message with the fullest love and awareness of what is happening out there. I am sending all of you who are in these situations an opening to reach out. Okay, if you have questions, put it in the comments, send me emails, whatever you need to do. If you need sessions to figure this out, please reach out, you guys. This energy is dark. This is toxic. It is truly coming into a very heightened, pivotal time, because so many unions are coming in now. And if your divine counterpart or you yourself are not strong enough, are feeling worn down, you may be very vulnerable to these energies, or these energies may be coming into your dream space or your actual physical world to attach on you, to feed off of you. So you guys, I love you all. Thank you for being here. I am sending so much love and light, gratitude and blessings, always, beautiful souls. I love you, and we will talk again soon. Take care, and bye-bye.